When we do a normal IVF cycle, we just look and see which embryos look best, but we've no idea what the genetics are like inside. So the embryologist will choose which embryos look best to put back into the woman's womb.
How many on average for, say, a 35-year-old woman would be viable?
And incredibly, only around half of embryos that couples make when the woman's in her mid-30s will have the right numbers of chromosomes in. As humans, we're fairly inefficient, actually, at making healthy embryos.
I'm flabbergasted that you've just said that, you know, 50%.
Half, yeah. But that's the reason why the success rate drops off. We know that as women get older, the miscarriage rate goes up significantly, and that's really linked to this. It's linked to these embryos having the wrong numbers of chromosomes. So what we can do is to actually test the genetics of the embryo. It's called pre-implantation genetic screening, and the latest technique is called next generation sequencing, or NGS. And what we do is actually take away between 2 and 5 of the cells of the embryo from the outside. This is what Danielle's doing here now.
So she's sucking them into this tube here.
So there's a pipette that she's sucking a few cells into. So you can see here a laser is being used to actually separate the cells.
Wow.
And what will happen now is those cells will be passed over to the genetics laboratory, and they'll undertake the next generation sequencing of those cells to see that those cells have the right numbers of chromosomes or don't have the right numbers of chromosomes.
The embryos are frozen while Tim waits to find out which ones are normal and do have the correct number of chromosomes. Then he and the embryologist will decide which of those to transfer into the woman's womb. This test is already available privately and costs at least £2,000 on top of the IVF cycle, but it may be offered by the NHS if the trial shows it to be cost-effective.
So Tim, is it foolproof in terms of if you've had the screening done, is your embryo definitely healthy and will definitely implant, or sometimes does it just not work for however many other reasons?
So we know that if we find an embryo who's got the right numbers of chromosomes in and it's an otherwise healthy-looking embryo, when we put that back, the chance of it implanting is between 60 and 70%.
Wow.
So it's not 100%. But it's certainly much higher than just a random embryo. And the reasons why it's not 100% would be there are many other things that could affect why embryos implant or not.